Hello. I'll try to record this video while the daylight still hasn't left us here in Riga, Latvia. It is the last few minutes before it all goes dark again. Um, so wanted to talk about one of my favorite things that I'm learning growing up. The like every time I press record, my eyes start tearing up. Like, here we go again, boys. Let's cry together. So it is so important to protect your energy as a sensitive person, a little bit who's a little bit psychic or a little bit more receptive than the rest. And I'm growing up and I'm finally learning how to do it. Like, it feels so good, but it feels so new. It feels so weird. It feels crazy, it feels exciting, but it's also so hard. But I'm learning, and I'm already crying, but I'm learning. So, what I mean by that? What do I mean by protecting my energy? I really don't like my nails right now. I don't want you to see my nails right now. Don't worry, tomorrow I will go get a manicure, and yeah, it's gonna be a bit better. See, this is also a part of it because who cares? Who cares about my nails? I'm the one who told you that. And I don't care if you see them like all weird and choppy and whatever, because that's not how I want you to judge me. That's not what I want you to judge me by. Um, and that was also a big theme that was following me the last few days when I was meeting new people, hanging out, going on dates, a lot of dates recently, and I just stopped adapting. And I think it has only helped me and it benefits me. And obviously, in the long run, it's a lot better for you to just stay your ground and be who you are and not adapt and change because of others. And I know it sounds like so obvious, but to very, 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 very deeply sensitive people like me, it has always been the most difficult thing in life to do. To be myself and not totally change my personality and flip my scales as a Pisces and change my faces with every single person I meet and become comfortable for them and become easygoing with them, and even if they are totally not what I want to be. And that is the darkest part of this. Even if they are total jerks or totally weird people, or if they're objectively bad and weird and crazy, and I still always adapted and I still always changed who I am inside. And I thought that there's something wrong with me, and yeah, but I've been having such a good time just saying hell no. These are my boundaries, and this is who I am. This is how I look. This is how I show up. And if you're not the one for me, and I can feel that you're not the one for me, then I'm not gonna try and make you mine. And it's been so hard, and it's still very hard. But I'm only in the beginning of this journey of learning this lesson that I will attract the right people for me if I just keep being me with no compromises, with no weird without pushing myself down, without laying low. If I just be confident for once in my skin and believe in what I do, then others will believe in me too, and I will attract the right people. And I know that, like, I've been preaching these lessons and all of this and that and forever, for forever, but doctors need doctors too. And as much as I am a motivational speaker or whatever, I only really feel the lessons and the wisdom from the lessons in the process of when I go through the depths of hell in the lessons that I've been teaching myself. So whenever I preach something that sounds so wise and knowledgeable, it's because I've had this information factually, but to really, really, really experience it as a human, I think I have yet to experience most of the lessons that I preach online, really on my own skin. And that is also a very painful theme. I think that's a topic for another video, but okay, for this video, it's protecting my energy and protecting my space, protecting who I am. And it's so freaking hard, as I've said many times already. I think it definitely comes so much easier for so many people out there. That's what I've been contemplating. How others can just like go and do and exist, and they don't care much about how others see them. Well, maybe they do, but it definitely looks like they don't. And I believe that has taken a lot of practice, but for some it really is natural. But yeah, anyway, the thing is that in my last date, I really understood this. That I was so confident in who I am and what I chose to wear that day. The outfit, the hat, the whatever, because it's so cold outside. I was like, okay, I want to be pretty. I want to represent something on the outside, but like for today, it's so cold, I can't do it, so I'm just gonna wear this puffer jacket that does not spiritually align with how I feel inside. This puffer jacket is so ugly, and this hat is so ugly, but I'm cold, so I'm gonna go with this. Fuck this shit. Fuck this guy if he doesn't like, if he judges me because of how I chose to dress when it's so fucking cold. It's freezing and it's ice everywhere. And I never thought like this before. I never operated from this point of view in my life ever. And it's so rare when I do. And I think the more I do this, the more I practice it, the more I am aware that I actually operate from this point of view, the more confidence and stability and self-acceptance it radiates. And it's just been such a interesting childhood for me, thinking about this, and then from this perspective of like how I've been living. Like most of the things I've done is because yeah, didn't really want to be pushing myself forward too much because I am this and this and this, and others don't like this and this and this, and I will try to just lay low, you know. But yeah, I went out and I realized that fuck, like on this date, this person, like, I don't know, maybe he did judge me because of the puffer jacket, maybe he did, but I definitely did not care, because I realized at the end this is not worth it. Like, what the fuck am I worrying about? It was not worth it. It was not worth worrying about me not looking my best on a date, because that's not what I'm here for on this date. I'm here to know your insides. I'm here to know your soul. And if you're gonna judge me by my look on that date, then this is not what I'm here for. And that's what this means for me, to protect my energy. Is to like really know what I'm looking for, and to really know what I want to attract in my life, what I want to be in my life, and what kind of people I want in my life. And I know that everybody goes through this on a smaller or bigger scale, but it's definitely not easy to find your people if you lie to yourself, if you're not honest to yourself, if you keep changing your skins, your faces with every single person you meet, and then you're desperately trying to find your tribe or your people, if you're like when you just don't believe in yourself and in what you look like and what you want to represent. And like as an artist, as a visual artist, um, as a fashion person, also a fashion designer, and person who makes my own clothes, who styles myself in all sorts of weird ways when other people just choose to wear a t-shirt, that's it. As somebody like that, it's just I forgot what I was going with this. It's just so important for me to represent that, exactly that I do this and that I like doing this and this is who I am. And I know it might sound so obvious and weird and like so obvious, but like this is the paradox here. It's the hardest thing. Mentally, so I recently heard this quote that dumb people always surpass smart people in life because smart people live in their head and they operate from their brain, and that's their biggest prison. But dumb people just go out there and learn how to live in real life. They don't have the brains to overthink everything. So when I read this a couple days ago, like I've been stuck with this. And so, okay, I might be smart, but I might not like that I'm smart sometimes. um, yeah, because operating from your head, from your constantly working brain that's just constantly feeding you some blocks and restrictions, it's something that more dumber or a bit more stupid people probably go through a lot less, like because they just go out there, they fuck around, they find out, like they fuck shit up, and they learn those lessons through actually making a bunch of mistakes, and they actually end up going further in life, achieving more and doing a lot more things than those who just overanalyze everything in our little brains and block ourselves from being able to make any kind of steps or any kind of choice. So yeah, that was very inspiring for me to really hear this again. Because I knew about this, but like just hearing it again reminded me how sometimes you have to just wing it and just fucking do something, because like just don't think and just do something, because yeah. So protecting my space, protecting who I am, and protecting my soul and my knowledge and my energy, it always feels like a chore, like such a painful chore, because when I say no, when I say I can't do this does not align with me, sorry, but I don't want to collaborate with you, or sorry, like I can't, I don't want to be a part of this, leave me out, or just please stop texting me. It just feels so wrong at first. And I still struggle with it, and I'm not perfect, of course, but like it's such a pain to make such a difficult choice to say no. And for sensitive people, this is so hard to say no. And the more I say yes, the less I stay me. The more I say yes and agree to every single thing, the less I know who I am, the more I disappear, and the less I exist as my own self, as a one single confident being that's a personality of some sort and like a tangible thing with interests and with standards and goals. Like, I don't have them anymore. The more I disintegrate into others and the more I float away from myself and my heart, and really that's just exactly how to describe it. If I don't have any boundaries, I disintegrate into the world. And I don't like being disintegrated. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing to be disintegrated into others. Because deep down it hurts. That's not the goal, right? You don't want it to hurt deep down. You want it to. You want this life to be somewhat aligned with how you feel inside, right? Right? Like, at least a little bit. So, I'm just so comfortable with living in pain and struggle that growing up and learning about setting boundaries and saying no and being a bit rude, being mean sometimes, because to many people, no doesn't mean no always. Sometimes it means that, oh, I'll text her a bunch of times every single day till she says yes. And yeah. That's when I have to make the difficult choice to block someone. And it feels like I've done something wrong. That's how it feels. But it's the right thing to do. It's definitely the right thing to do. I really don't like going on dates. I really don't like going on dates, but I've been doing that more so than ever in my life the last few months. It's crazy. And most of the people I've met are just, I don't know from what hole did I dug them up, but like, in what hole have they been living in that they're so just not for me. Let's just stay with that. Not for me. And it sounds so simple to just say no and then go home, but for someone like me, I don't know how to be rude in real life. Like, I can be so aggressive and raw and powerful and angry in my art, but in real life interactions, in real life situations, how the fuck do I say no? I'm a different person. I'm a different person then. I don't know. Is this still recording? I think so. I don't even know how I look. Like, I'm not seeing myself. Finally, I'm recording from the back camera, not the front camera. I always record from the front camera. This is the back camera. Anyway, I'm hibernating now. I am in my deep winter sleep and deep winter sadness because I see no light and I have very little free time, but things are already changing. I signed a paper of quitting my job yesterday. I did that. I'm not gonna be there from the new year. And now I have a vacation for 2 weeks and I will finally have time for myself for the first time this year. Can you imagine that? And those 2 weeks are filling up so quickly with so many events and like more meetings and more things to do, like with my family, with some people I know, some collaborations. And I'm so happy about that. Like, Mercury finally exited the retrograde. Saturn is finally doing something different. Like, something else. Like, I forgot about all the transits, but like, stuff is moving again. And everything's changing. And this year has been, like, the second half of the year has been so traumatic for me. Like, never before in my life. Is that, like, I cannot afford to be the same person again. I cannot afford to not say no to people. I cannot afford to not have boundaries and high standards in my life. And I cannot afford to be scared. I cannot afford to not make steps, actual, tangible, physical steps in my life towards something that I actually want. Because the second part of the year, this year, I experienced all the shit that comes with making steps into the directions that lead me away from myself and my truth, lead me further into darkness and disappointment. And I've been living on pretty low frequencies at the second half of the year, and it's only because of my head, being trapped in my own head and my own choices that I didn't have to make. There always is a different way, and that's just like, I've cried so much about this because I didn't know about it, that I didn't know that there can always be an escape. There can always be a different way, a different road, a different path to take. I did not know about that. And all it takes sometimes is a friend who just shakes you up and is like take this tiny step, take this step, like this thing, like you can do this. And then I'm like, what? I can do that. I know it's tiny. I know it's insignificant for the rest of the world, but for someone like me, for this individual soul right here, this tiny little step, this little tiny advice that you just gave me, this tiny sentence, it can flip my whole existence upside down. That's how sensitive people work. That's how we work. And I'm so happy that I have some friends in my life. Very little amount. But they exist. Some of them I've met at the beginning of this year, and they're very new. But they already have changed so much in me. I can really say that is one of the things that I am the most happy about in my life. About the people that have come along, even though my ego is so high that I never really expected or wanted friends like that. Or like any friends. Because my ego is just my shadow side is the craziness of my ego. You don't even know about that. I don't even want to know about that, but that's the paradox. Like I have to know my ego to be able to work with it. But putting my ego aside, if any of my friends is watching this right now, accepting you in my life has been also one of the most difficult parts of this year, and these friendships and these connections. Like accepting you, that you exist and that we're good for each other, that I need you, you need me, we create good synergy together. Like accepting that I can have close friends, that I don't have to be alone. That is fucking creepy and scary for me. I've always been the person with no friends because I never wanted them. Who needs friends, right? So, how stupid that sounds. Now I know. Anyway, I just created such beautiful makeup and now I'm gonna cry it all off. What the fuck? So protecting my energy, my space, and my art, my music, my visual expression, my performances, my dancing, my movement, all the creative energy that comes from my sacral center. I think I'm gonna prioritize that again next year. I need to. I have no other choice. I have no other choice but to prioritize myself next year. Because this year, the priority has been outside of me, something unreachable, something unknown, something somewhere else, something that I don't even know. It was never defined what the hell I was doing this year. But I think I want to be defined again. I want to find definition, like something solid, something stable, some goal, some dream, some improvements in my brain and how I move in my everyday life. I need to set clear boundaries again. And I love documenting this. I love documenting this in my YouTube videos. So I only appreciate that you watched them and watched it this far. I really appreciate that. I really respect you for also choosing to share your stories and your words of kindness in the comments. That means a lot to me because I read everything. And yeah. One day at a time, guys. One day at a time. Bye bye.